Alright, well, I'm still kind of getting things set up. Well, I say it as if I didn't just launch the game, but yeah, good day, good afternoon. Well, whoever is watching this, probably me in the future. I do know that I do want to do live streaming, not really as like a profit thing, I guess. It's more like I want to do it just because archive purposes right now. So that's probably one of the ways I'm trying to make it, I guess, enjoyable for myself. Something like that. I mean, I'm not intending to make this anything too big. Oh yeah, wait, probably shouldn't introduce myself if anyone feels like trying to find me, I guess. You know, that's a good question. Hold up, let me check if I even have my socials in the description. But yeah, my name's Marki. A lot of people call me either or, so I'm fine with both. And also, if you wonder why I'm talking like this, it's also just because, for sake of making sure that, I guess, like it's been a minute since I've tweaked these settings, so I don't know how exactly it sounds. And right now, I just want to make sure that the mic settings are good. So I have it on monitor and output it on OBS at the moment. So it's kind of, well, it's kind of weird trying to talk and then hear your voice in real time, essentially. So it's making me kind of have a different, I guess, like pace, something like that. Like the way I'm speaking right now is not usually how I do. It's probably more, I guess, slower, more paced. That I don't know, like something like it's much slower pace just because I'm thinking about it, but I'm also hearing it as well. So it's kind of throwing me off. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get this done, both because I'm looking forward to seeing what Kuro has cooked up. But the other thing too is I keep seeing spoilers and I keep seeing things on my YouTube feed. It's not anyone's fault. I mean, I do wish though that some people who are posting their live stream VODs and reactions would, you know, consider the thumbnail and what they're putting on there. It's good art. I'm not saying it's not good art, but it looks like it's directly from the story. So while I appreciate it, and I'm also just like, dang it, freaking hell, like I really thought, oh well, I could avoid it. It's not that big of a deal personally though. Also, I'm gonna turn off the monitoring, so we'll see how well this goes. I'm hoping it sounds fine, but as far as I can tell, at least on my end from monitoring and output, yeah, using the monitor and output setting, I think it should be fine. So I'm just gonna put some trust in that. Anyways, so yeah, fact of the matter is that I'm a tad bit annoyed about it, but it's nothing too big of a deal that it should be, well, like, you know, oh, everyone has to do my thing and everyone has to support my decision. It's just a little thing that annoyed me. Words are hard. But anyways, yeah, so I do want to keep this little pre-chat kind of like short and stuff like that. I don't really do this usually, so I'm not really as familiar, and I know myself well enough that if I let myself just go, I'll just talk for however long, you know? Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. It's supposed to be pretty hot today, so gotta make sure I'm hydrated. Make sure you're hydrated. Whenever, whoever is listening, whoever will be seeing this, I hope you're staying hydrated, got some snacks, whatever. You know, make sure you take care of yourself. Anyways, let's see if I remember how to do this because I didn't set up the gaming stream. Stream? screen. There you go. Word, like I said, words are hard. But yeah, I didn't set up the gaming screen yet, so I'm gonna go make sure to transition to that right now. So let's go ahead and get into Wuba right now. Okay. All right. I was recording something the other day. No, not the other day. It's been like months. Let's see. Is it going to capture right? Oh, there you go. All right. Now that we're in the game, see, I decided to log out here last time. I mean, I kind of like the idea that we actually have like a little place here that we can stay in Septimont. And, ooh. So, what is my rover at right now?
I will be there for everyone as we head toward our
So
shared
he's at
future.
sequence 2. It's gonna be at sequence 2 after this. I do hope we get more sequences in the future for him. Because I do like playing as the rover. I did cosplay as him at Offguide this year, so it was only for one day. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, I do wish though that I bought a bigger size for the jacket, just purely because I didn't realize that it was that big. But yeah, let's get into the story, that way we can make sure we're, you know, on track and on pace. But yeah, last time I remember we were tripping a lot because there's two different Septimons apparently, so yeah, let's see where they're taking us, because I honestly don't know. I mean, it's very much implied though that Lupa has something to do with. I'm trying to go also the genuine, like, actual route, don't worry about it. That's why I was like looking for the stairs, but yeah, like I was trying to figure out like in my head, because it's heavily implied that Mia and Lupa are connected in some way, and part of me, just with how there's the obvious parallels between them, with how Mia's winning, but then she's not as confident as Lupa, while Lupa is basically everything Mia wished she could be. So because of that, I'm just thinking to myself, what's their connection? What's going on? And then also, will we ever see Cardothea? Because we saw Cardothea at the end of it. I mean, I have Cardothea, and I've been trying to build her as best as I can. I don't have Chacona, so yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Actually, real quick, let me check the OBS settings right now. I do want to see how the game capture is sounding right now. But yeah, as I talk about this, I do want to see just, like, what they're going through. Okay, sounds fine. Sounds fine for a bit. But yeah, I want to see where they're gonna be taking us, and what. Also, Booling. Yeah, I do want to see if Booling makes a return, because I know that at 1.0, like Huanglong, most specifically Jinzhou, which is the main place that we even know about in Huanglong right now. I know that this didn't really leave that great of an impression on some people, and I mean, you can tell it. Like, I haven't gone back to here that long. Nice. Like, I've explored it a fair amount, but I haven't gone back to really 100% things. And to be fair, if anyone's seen my Genshin world, it's probably worse than this, just because I don't do any exploration in these games in general. Like, very rarely do I do, and the only reason I got to Septimont to 75 was because of the, what do you call it? Yeah, the upgrade material for the Arrow Rover's sword. So yeah, I had to make sure I was doing it for both the meta and also because I'm a Rover main. Well, I say Rover main, but like, I like playing as the Rover. So far they feel good. I haven't played Spectral Rover in a while though, but that's also because I don't really. Well, I have Jinchi, so I don't really need to worry about any sort of Spectral team. Also, I could feel the heat. Hold up, I'm gonna start the fan at the very least. Hopefully that doesn't get picked up too much. Let me just monitor real quick. But yeah, oh, okay, that, that sounds okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna have the fan at full blast then. Full blast then, because man, that just. I don't know which part it was, but it really just messed up I guess, the noise canceling. But yeah, I do want to see more of Huanglong, just because, again, Jinzhou isn't all of Huanglong. It's all we see of it in the game right now, but like we have a bit of Mount Firmament. Hey, nice! I didn't realize I got 69 on Mount Firmament, but we've only seen Mount Firmament. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So wait, the Black Shores is literally just north of Mount Firmament. Okay. Never. I always thought that it would be much longer and much further, but like this part is only just for Guna. This is like part of Renacita, yes, but Renacita is pretty huge. I like this is another part of Renacita, not Raguna. But all of this over here is just all Raguna, which it feels like people keep forgetting, probably because Genshin brain, because in Genshin at least, all the like Mondstadt is literally just Mondstadt. That's it. And then Liyue is Liyue, and Inazuma is, well, Inazuma. That's like it doesn't expand more than that. But for Wuthering Waves, it seems like they're really trying to have this grand, like, expansive world that they want us to explore and look into. I still haven't done any of this, but yeah, like as you can tell, like yeah, like people will probably call me a Kurobot or whatever just because I kind of glaze Wua, but honestly, it's because, like, I mean, I'll also do this. Yeah, I haven't done the survey yet, but I do like the feeling that they are actually listening to us in our critiques, you know. So that's part of why I have some confidence in Wuthering Waves. From what I understand with Holio, however, the track record is spotty to say the least. Anyways, enough of me ranting about, like, gacha games. I mean, there's better games that do things. Like, I'm just thinking that this is pretty impressive for a gacha game, because I mean, I don't really play gacha games that much, and I've been losing my interest in Genshin and in Zenless Zone Zero. Like, the characters and the stories are neat, but it's kind of just, I'm kind of tired of it. When I was playing the Genshin, let's call it story, the Archon quest the other day, it had nice ideas, but then it's, oh damn, I didn't even realize that what's called the sun's actually moving. It's a little bit faster than in real life, but that's neat. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, when I was playing the Genshin, oh wait, no, the clouds. Clouds, I'm dumb. Not the sun, the clouds. But yeah, the clouds moving. But yeah, but the Genshin story, I liked the ideas. I liked what was going on. The problem is that I think a fair amount of content creators have already talked about it too, is just the idea of show don't tell, and like that's where issues kind of like start, in my opinion, because a lot of times they don't really do a lot of what's called showing and whatnot. They just do a lot of telling. So that's why I'm just like, oh boy, you know? And oh, whoops, hold up. Really awkward timing, but I apparently got something delivered, so I just want to make sure that it's what's called taken care of. So I'll be right back real quick.
Huh. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. This is a testament to my connection with the world.
Okay. Let's just say that OBS kind of froze when I tried
This
to
is a
edit one of the
testament to my connection
sources.
with the world around
So
me.
I'm just
And
gonna,
it's very much my
for
companion
now,
now,
not touch it because
bearing witness to everything
I
I've
don't know what will
experienced on this
happen.
journey.
Yes, Rover. I will be there for everyone as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind. Anyways, but yeah, let's just say that that was a little awkward, but I just went to pick up a package real quick. So yeah, okay, let's get this story on the road.
You've come, warrior.
Hey, Lupa. Still not sure if I will pull for. Hey, Arsenosa. Interesting.
The mighty guardian, Eudicus Arsenosa, is not the kind of echo too warm to crowds.
Yeah, I'm not one to warm to crowds either.
The lioness favors the strong, the unyielding, and the battle-hardened. Only those she deems worthy will find her arms welcoming.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking a little bit too literally, but aren't we a little bit small for that?
She is still an echo and can't talk.
Oh shit. Oh no.
Sounds.
Oh. Wait, where is she
What is
going?
it? Did you feel something just now?
Yeah, something
I
fell
only
off.
heard strange sounds. Tell me, what direction did the lioness just look toward?
The Veil of Glory.
Oh. Oh boy.
It's where all heroes, blessed by the glory forged in iron and fire, find their rest. But on the long path of hunting, many died with their bodies missing. Only their weapons returned. Arsenosa's frequency is woven from the cries of souls in battle. The battered weapons still carry the will of their former masters, whispering the deeds left undone. To touch such weapons is a rite of great importance for those who claim glory in the great Aegon and receive the lioness's blessing. Hearing the voices of our ancestors by Arsenosa's side is a great source of strength for Septimontians.
That's kind of like it's not them though. It's just a recording.
Before meeting Buling, when I touched the echo in that village, I felt a layered, indistinct frequency. It was like what Abby described on our journey to Septimont, but the source eluded me at the time.
That means that we're getting close.
But now, I found it.
Oh, never mind. We're not getting close. We literally just found it. Nice.
The source of that power lies in the Veil of Glory. The closer the lioness gets to it, the clearer it becomes.
Sorry, I'm moving things around just because I've decided to open up this package because I can't help but get curious. Oh, nice. Okay, it's the thing I wanted. I got a what's called Wuthering Waves comic anthology.
For us there. Shall we go together? I'm not sure if Septimontian rituals will interest you, but you might uncover something useful, no?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm keen to find out what's going on.
Perfect. Let's head out.
That's not good.
What is it?
Nothing. Just
Lupa, that was not nothing.
Just a dizzy spell. Overexcitement after the win. Or something. Anyway, it's no matter. Let's continue.
She's really putting on a strong front. That is interesting. I do want to see, because I do remember that we do have the script. Because this is what people were theorizing beforehand, and all of these things were going on. And we know that, in terms of cutscenes at least, for what we happened, or what we saw, you know, this happened where we fought in a battle no one could see, at least in, I guess, the real world? Same thing with the Cardathea fronting Arsenosa. And we know that there's things happening in Mia's life that is related to this, so wherever we go, let's see how this script plays out. But like I said in the title,
these days have been a feast
we
of
are
victories.
making sure that
Becoming
Lupa's living.
champion, the glory, all thanks to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could just fly there, but I'm in a mood to be a little bit quote-unquote immersive.
Struck a deal with the
Because,
Markis from Raguna.
I mean, look at this architecture, this place. People have spent hours not only like designing it, you know, and making the art and the themes for it, but also we had them 3D model it. I just feel like appreciating it a little bit more. I mean, you also just look at it when you take out all the UI and everything. At the very least, it seems very lived in, and like there's a lot of people, you know, things going on, and like there's also, yeah, like the Tadas. I like these things. I didn't even know that it would react to me. Actually, it's neat. Can I pet it? Oh, I can't pet the bloody thing. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, well, UI is going back up for now. Huh, okay, they just don't stop me. Got it. Probably because we're, let's call it the winners the Aegon. But yeah, even if I wanted to pull for Lupa, I probably
Strange.
wouldn't.
Why are so many appearing all at once?
Uh-oh.
Caught you now!
Hopefully this helps.
Okay, well, I got the gamer mouth going on, so give me a sec.
Such is their blessing. I thought tacit discords didn't usually appear around the border mountains.
These tacit discords didn't gather from the surroundings. It's more like they spawned from thin air.
Yeah, that's
Look,
what's odd about
It's
it.
just ahead. The Vale of Glory, where heroes are laid to rest.
Oh wait, I've been here before. Whoops. When I was exploring the, what's called it, when I first got into Septimont after the story, I just went ahead and just got everything, so whoops, I've been here before already. I didn't think about it, so, well, it's nice to get more expansion on it. Uh-oh.
You are from my homeland. What?
Uh-oh. Yeah, me and Lupa are overlapping again. That's...
That girl just now, that was Mia.
Yeah.
The closer to the Veil of Glory, the more the normal world and the anomaly overlap. Whatever lies ahead must be the key to all of this. I need to rethink everything. Septimont, Lupa, Cardathea, Mia, the Lioness of Glory. All of it. Cardathia arrived in Septimont alone, not waiting for me or attempting contact. Something must have happened to prevent her. If something cut her off, aside from the Fraxidus, it could have only been the Thermodian, which should be dead.
But as we know, the Thermodians are like the other side of civilization, so it can't just be that. So that's where I wonder, because the Thermodians kind of like they can't truly be killed, it seems, or at least at the moment. That's why Rover even went through all this trouble originally, to lose their memories and to go on a new journey. Now, what happened to cause us to be found in Jinzhou? We'll see what happens.
But
I'm
Septon
hoping
holds no
for
faith in the
best.
Sentinel, and the Thermodian was never able to establish influence here. Maybe it's not that simple.
Yeah, the Thermodian's power was to assimilate and combine, so maybe that's part of what's going on here as well. Something's being
The
assimilated by the
Thermodian controls the
Thermodian.
minds of its followers through their faith. Mia is a Ragunese, and likely a follower of the Order of the Deep. If the Veil of Glory is an important rite for champions, perhaps Mia went there, and it was there she vanished. Her hysterics, hallucinations, and loss of control in the arena were signs of the Thermodian's corruption. Therlova once said, "The closer one stands to the protagonist, the greater their influence over the tale." In this great Aegon, Lupa is the protagonist. Years ago, it was Mia. Now, I'm seeing Mia's image flicker in and out throughout this journey. If the Mia I see is under the Thermodian's control, does that mean securing the protagonist role is key to its plan? When I first met Lupa, I sensed what felt like Cardathia's frequency on her. Later, I also felt the Thermodian's presence. Did they cross paths? If Cardathia is part of the story, the likelihood is high.
The question still is just how, because Lupa and that Cardathia met is still different from the Lupa that we know. And the Septimont that Cardathia was in is a lot less well off compared to the Septimont that we're in. And more than likely, just judging from the fact that Cantarella, at the start of this 2.4 story, tells us about it, how Septimont is a land of warriors, how they have pride, they don't believe in the Sentinel. But then she would have mentioned if anything that we saw on Cardathia's side were true. So then because of that, definitely we're in the real
Could Lupa have
Septimont.
forgotten? Did they meet without realizing it? Or is she lying and already under the Thermodian's influence?
I'm more willing to
Was
bet that Lupa
Philova telling
forgot
the
him.
truth by saying Lupa would bring forth the dark tide? Or is she just another one of its victims?
I think we'll find that out because of the connection between
Hey!
Lupa and Mia.
Is something wrong? Is there something you need? Or something you want to say?
So this is what I subbed the thumbnails for some videos on. Because I want to trust her. But then I feel like if we tell her what is going on, she's gonna be confused as well. Because no one's noticed the different frequencies. That's the thing. And everyone's acting like everything's just fine, but it's not. That's why I'm wondering myself, like, what would I actually do? Because I may be just a guy, But then, you know, I do enjoy that we're able to kind of resonate, pun intended, with the rover and their feelings. Because right now, we're trying to figure out what's wrong, and we're still not... But because it involves her, you know what, yeah, I'll do it. I'll trust her for now. It's like, look, I've been...
I'm sorry. I don't recall crossing paths with Cartothea, but you could be right. I may have, and just forgotten about it.
Well, she did say that the name was familiar.
These past days, there have been moments when I feel lost, forgetting what I was doing a heartbeat ago. I don't know if it's the Threnodians' work, but if something is wrong, and it's trying to twist my mind, you'd make the right call, wouldn't you, my fellow warrior? You'd protect my honor and my dignity.
I would do what I must.
There's
I would
more at
want
stake
to.
than that, Lupa. I've heard the Septimont saying, all for glory, fear no death. But sometimes living takes more courage than dying.
Well then, that'll do just fine. I trust you, warrior. Just as you trust me.
It doesn't matter if the story's end is already written or yet to unfold.
I'm definitely gonna
Trust
see what
my
the other
own
choice
judgment
was.
to guide where it must go.
That's the Arbiter, Warrior, the Astral Modulator, the Chief Steward.
I
Here we
hear
go again.
cowering prey.
Okay, I'm gonna try just doing pure Lupa right now, because I want to see right now. Because from what I've seen of what people say of team comps with her, she's pretty much a good, let's call it fusion support, but who knows? Oh, well, awkward. But yeah, that was interesting to say the least,
Those
because that's some
blades,
lores.
spears, and halberd embedded in the stone. They're the weapons of the fallen heroes. We have a tradition in Septimont. Touch them and listen to the whispers of those who once wielded them.
Through endless battles and the surging dark tide, kin and warmth. Okay, I didn't read that fast enough. Sides of flat white flowers blooming across barren fields. Damn. It's one hell of a way to go. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit annoyed that there's no actual axe, but it's okay. Fingertips brush against the rusted steel, a quiet, sorrowful voice hums from the halberd's axe. No one knew why she sought the battlefield, only to escape another. She shed her gold, tore away the honor binding her, and turned her back on the proud house that shackled her, rejecting the eyes that followed her. This silence! It is my victory, she laughed, charging into the dark tide. All of these are related to the dark tide, so then that means that... Ah, great. Is this where freaking Cristoforo wanted to start the dark tide here? Or maybe that's where it started, when in the world Cartothea was in. I like that transition. That was a good transition. Who did this blade
This
belong
is
to?
Hercules' sword. You remember the waters of the Upper City, right? You were looking for Cartathea. Hercules was the one that the statue was based on. Ages ago, the dark tide bore down on Reganese. And Septimont didn't escape. Hercules was the son of the Ephor back then, and he led our warriors to face the Tacit Discords. He died in that cursed tide, his strength worn down to nothing. His sword was corrupted, but his followers still risked their lives to bring it back. In this land, intense emotions easily blend with other forces. The Lioness of Glory was born from the fiery passions of heroes, so she holds sway over their weapons. Back then, this sword was growing more sinister due to the corruption. But all these years later, it has become a memento of a hero.
Might be where our connection will be to the other world then. At least that's what it seems to be like.
It's
I
fucking
feel
hot
something
outside.
strong and pulsing
Yep.
in the direction the blade is pointing. It's coming from underground. Is it inside the mountain itself?
The frequency. It's the Sentinel Imperator. Just like Raguna, Septimont has its own Genesis Nexus. That's why it seeks.
That's interesting. Why do we see Cartathea now?
Power needs room.
More Tacit Discords, just like last time.
Alright, well, I'm still thinking about
Split
that.
second the world shifted, just like it did when I saw Mia. Every time there's an overlap like this, the tidal blight appears, as well as Tacit Discords.
Leave it to me.
I didn't realize that Lupa was just walking off.
Lackluster. The fight is on! Die, evil! Glory is upon us! The tidal blight. It's an outgrowth of the dark tide itself. Why is it suddenly appearing like this?
We'll clear it out first.
Okay, it's kind of
Check
funny
if
that
that
Rover
sword is the
has
source.
his full forte on. That's why his eyes glowing. Oh, okay, we're doing the mechanic thing then. Okay.
What's that sound? Come, we should check it out.
What the heck? Oh. Just had to check if I'm my mic's on because my dad was in here, so I was like, oh, well, let's go see, let's go see what he's up to. But yeah, that's strange. 'Cause there is resonance. Yeah, the frequencies were there on the sword, so. That's the good question. What's going on? I guess Arsenosa's checking out these frequencies. I wonder. He does also do something like this.
Lupa?
This doesn't feel like the first time I've been here.
That's not good.
Let's go.
Well, let's go figure out what's going on with her then. Ever the gentleman, I guess. What the hell?
There's no mistaking it now. It's Imperator's frequency.
That's... Okay, well, first things first. Can I... Okay, I can't fall off. Sorry, I'm... Gamer instinct of like, oh, can I fall off here? Jeez, though. Yeah, and there's... It's not like, ripples, but like, it's footstep ripples. Jeez. Some incredible architecture and vibes here. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Thou carry the scent of Cardathea.
Not just knowledge. You've stolen the Sentinel's access too. Lupa's role in this story isn't yours!
Okay, that was... Oh no. Wait, what?
Is that Contender Mia?
It's the Thenodian. Lupa, this is something only you can do.
Tell me what I need to do.
Read the script. Adapt as required. I believe in you, warrior.
Alright. So
To
then...
lose our strength
Where are we
is
going
the
with
deepest
this?
fear of Septimontians. Pride hides the terror within.
Oh.
We fear no death, yet
Uh-huh.
tremble before shame and failure.
Yeah, there's Augusta.
Did Domina
Or not
Julia
Augusta,
deceive me for
Julia.
this? I never got the chance to ask. The dark tide consumed all. Death took her, as it will take me.
Today as yesterday, we weave time beneath the tide.
What is...
Swim, swim. Wretched yet lovely fish.
What is
Dream deeply
Christopher's
in my
ability?
fiction. On the stage of a repeating tale, waiting for the day thou shalt consume the world.
O righteous one, I shall depart without a word. The golden city in my childhood legend is swallowed by the abhorrent tide. I whisper to my fleeting companion. Pages will scatter. The quill will fall. This play shall be torn from its author's hands.
Those are the three different parts.
In the shifting score.
Oh, I didn't expect for Lova.
O golden star full of mercy. Pray tell me, as past and present intertwine, what fate have you chosen?
Hesitate not, warrior. You are the protagonist I have chosen. Only you can shatter the script and jump to the next page. Right. For the nobility you seek. For it all.
Okay, I like that. That was an interesting sequence. That was well done, actually, because I do like the different perspectives, and it's just showing Rovers shattering everyone else's quote-unquote realities. Wait, she's waking up back up outside of it, wherever we were. Okay, resisting their to skip and all of that.
No. It couldn't.
Okay.
It's no dream.
Oh, so that's what we used that for. Hold up, I will be right back real quick. I do want to use the restroom. I drank a little bit too much water beforehand, so I'll be right back. Also, I'm not gonna put the text up because it seems that OBS did not like me messing with it, so I will just let it be for now. Alright, I am back. I've washed my hands. We're ready for more story.
I'm not alone. The warrior put the hope of change in my hands. This feels good. Not standing there alone on the champion's stage.
Interesting.
The warrior hasn't learned this yet, but I now remember traveling with Cartathea. I can't be in the real world. This is a Sonoro created by the Fraxidus. It's a realm of stories. The story of the great Aegon lasts only 3 days. Before Cartathea came here, I had wandered this same bloody story more times than I can count.
Oh, so you're telling me that she's been stuck in basically a Groundhog Day loop?
Monstrous, the half-human, half-sea creature grows ever larger. Is this the Fraxidus plan? To feed it with Septimon's ruins? A script.
Hmm.
Yes. This Sonoro
So
is
wait,
like a
what
book
is
of
this?
plays.
Guess where Rover is the real world, technically, but
Each
then...
world in the Sonoro is a story that keeps repeating, like sheets of paper, all overlapping with one another. New pages keep appearing, layering over the old, and the changes in one story bleed through to the next.
Okay, so then we're all in the same place then. Just different points in time.
After Cartathea's actions, Septimont, once destroyed by the Dark Tide, has begun to return to normal in the story where the warrior arrived. Cartathea
right.
saved me, changed my fate, and led me to the warrior, who stopped the Threnodian in the last story. So in this time, I haven't lost my memory.
So Septimon's been in a loop for the
Warrior
last 3
delivered
days.
a powerful blow against the monster, and the energy supply from the central hub has been cut off. But that's not even its full form. I once searched for its true form with Cartathea. I remember now. What we seek lies in the lower city's waters.
That's good that she has power over her own
Won't
fate
let
now.
your trust be misplaced.
No. What happened to the Rover, though? Oh. But then we're still not in reality right now. Yeah. I mean, even though it would be the quote-unquote practical choice, I'm not letting Lupa die.
The old district of Septimont, submerged beneath the waters due to the Dark Tide. The Dark Tide looms over Septimont like a stubborn storm cloud. Is the warrior? No. No time to worry. I have to find the cause of all this, and quickly.
Wait, sorry, Lupa. Fighting through the tension here, but then I didn't grab this, so... But still. Also, it's right next to the bathhouse?
Winds of the wild!
No, wait, that's not the bathhouse. Never mind. But still. So that's how we're gonna play this out, huh? Oh, and is that some of the Dark Tide right there, too?
In a past story, I came here with Cartathea.
That must be wild to be able to see yourself like that. Yeah, and you can still hear a bit of Cartathea's leitmotif. Oh, and Cartathea was transformed when they went through too. Huh. Interesting. And then we're gonna see what happened to Cartathea's end before all of this. And Lupa's being taken over
Look
too.
at you. You can't go on much longer.
Oh, I've got blood on my nose.
I feared as much. Then this is where we stop. Strange. I remember everything about Septimont, but I can't remember. I can't even remember my name.
You didn't forget. Someone stole your role in the story. Even your name on the placards in the arena would be unreadable.
What is Carter
Your
Thea now?
existence has been erased. Only by unmaking this story can it be reclaimed.
Too bad I won't last long enough to see that happen. I'm sorry, Cartathea. You saved me. But I can't help you in return.
When I was a child, long ago, I heard tales of Septimont. A city full of passion and life. People there drank deeply, laughed loudly, appreciated sculpture, and lived for the hunt.
As fleeting as the wind, as they say, right?
Men and women feared nothing. They burned like fire, giving all their light and heat before fading.
That's one way of it.
But when I arrived in Septimont, it had already been undone by dark hands. With the dark tide sweeping the streets, the city was nothing but an empty shell.
That's right. My city is beautiful.
Such a stark contrast with
When
how
the autumn wind
warm the
blew
colors are
through the
in
golden
our
flowers
Septimont versus how
and
cold
wind
it is here.
chimes, time seemed to slow.
Like the colors,
The
how muted
Leviathan.
things are.
I will not give it the chance to make the people of Renacita weep and bleed.
That's my girl.
I will drag whoever orchestrated this tragedy out of the shadows.
Septimont. Can I leave it to you?
No. You said it yourself. This is your city. Some things only you can do.
Damn though, but
The
she looks
monster
so
leaving
pale.
its trace in the dark tide. I can feel it. Its frequency is similar to my own. The Threnodian created me to be a resonator for its power. But I wasn't the only one. Many vessels before me failed.
You mean...
There is still much I don't know. I'll keep searching. But no matter what, you have a certain specialness. Once I sought to end it all. Someone stopped me. Even a life mocked by fate can break its curse. Whatever you seek to do, whether you're weak or strong, you must strive for it. I returned to the world thanks to a certain person's help. I believe he will come here and reshape this twisted story.
Yep, because
Must
Cristoforo...
be quite the person, eh? I wish I could meet him and see how he does it.
That's because you will.
Then you will see for yourself. Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance. What we can't do now,
I know that from my
someone will carry
fighting game
forward
experience.
later.
Sometimes you just gotta be patient
If you
and
want
just
to
let
save
things,
your city,
you know, have to
then
go.
hold on. No matter the pain, no matter the doubts, you must keep going. Just like how you wandered Septimont before I came. Broken, yet determined to leave, to find help for the city. Jump to a new story, and bring my message to that person.
So that's how we get Carter Thea's, what's called frequency on Lupa.
All right, Cartathea. I'll try my best.
all we're asking you to do, Lupa.
First, tell me, what is that person's name?
Oh, so then this is where Lupa fell and she started up another story then. So I guess that kind of explains why she had a good feeling on us when we
Close to that abnormal
when we
frequency.
started.
You're in the submerged aqueducts.
So then Lupa ended up going to the next story, which is where we met her, and Cardothea is still in that cursed world. Things are different now. The rain comes for a time, but it'll wash away all
The
the dirt and
submerged
grime.
aqueducts. I remember reading about them in the silver records. There used to be an underground waterway leading to the plains. But now,
Okay.
with the old districts completely flooded, we can only access it if we drain the water first.
God, I love water levels.
After my role was erased, Cardothea must have found the half-human, half-sea creature, and the Fraxidus.
Yep, Cristoforo.
Like the warrior, she chose to remain on the closing of that page, to give new stories a fighting chance. That's why. I only regained my name after I met the warrior. During our journey, the overlapping worlds the warriors saw were the monsters doing. It tried to use Mia to steal my role again, to corrupt
Interesting.
Septimons once more. Only I can erase it from this story. Only I can prove that I'm real and it is fake.
Yeah, and that's one of the only ways we could put Mia to rest.
What happened to the Mia who vanished in the Veil of Glory decades ago?
That's the other question that we're having right now. So let's go figure out and find
After
the
everything
answer.
you went through, what did the city of Septimont mean to you?
Well, let's get this water drained and we'll find out. That's what I think.
I remember the entrance to the underground waterway is in the old district's bell tower.
Okay.
Of course. The upkeep of these waters always falls under the Silver's jurisdiction.
Yeah, and considering it's flooded, maybe it's...
Maybe I can awaken the sleeping giant of glory. In Septimontian tradition, when it bears its blade and watches over the warriors leaving for the hunt, all gates and passages open. Many of the old routes are blocked, but I can try draining the water through the remaining ones. It's worth a try.
Better than nothing. That's what I would say. So let's see, how does this work? So then now we're getting more clarification of what's going on. Oh, so that's... So we still have more updates to all of this.
Covered in tidal blight.
Okay. Okay, what mechanic is this gonna be? Are we just gonna smack those things off of it? Yep, I kinda figured. Okay, that kind of amused me
Can't
a
just
bit.
clear the head. To get it to lift its sword and open the gates, I need to clear the arms too.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Lackluster!
There we go.
With me!
Oh, okay, so... Okay, so...
Is that all?
Wait, what is Arsenosis effect?
I
I
shall
didn't
have
think
no
about
one
that.
tarnishing victory's honor.
Summon the Halberd of Glory to deal fusion. Okay.
The fight is on! Into the spotlight! I hear cowering prey. With me!
Yep, she really is a wolf girl.
Caught you now! I smell fear. I'll end you!
Okay, well that's one down. Now here we go again. Now we gotta go get the other arm. Okay, do we? Actually, did we need to get that? A little awkward.
Need to check for more patrol units nearby.
Okay, I thought I had to fly, but there was a ring ray up here.
Winds of the wild!
Okay. That's another. Oh, pretend. Inside platform, Discord. Okay. It's fine. I just realized I haven't switched out of Lupa's thing. I guess that's what her ult is. It's kind of like an install. Also, crap, was I supposed to make sure that it did get hit? Oh. Okay, well, that just means that we're gonna get more stuff. There it is. It's like a bell-bearing hunter and freaking night rain.
I hear cowering prey.
Yeah, come on.
Ooh, into the spotlight! With me! Is that all? Time to fight!
Okay.
The fight is on! Glory is upon us!
Oh damn, she really just cleaves through that. I didn't realize that. Okay. And there it is again. We're freeing the last arm. Okay. Now the gate's open, right? Let's just hope that this doesn't affect anything in the rest of the place, but maybe it's, you know, clears up a waterway, so.
The water is drained. Time to head to the bell tower. That monster is hiding in the depths of the aqueducts.
Alright, well. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have to solve this situation with Lupa. Okay. Let's lock in to get in to everything right now. What the heck? For a split second there, I think you might have seen transport, you know, got out of the trial story mode, I guess, for a bit. Just for a split second, but it's okay. Must have been how the game works then. That's what my
Just
assumption
this
is.
gate standing between me and the heart of the aqueducts.
Hmm.
It won't open. I'll have to find another route.
Part of me's just thinking, why can't you just smack it?
The copper mirror is calling.
Okay.
The warrior used it to see the past. I wonder if there's anything of that here.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, Silva and Cristoforo. Must be more lore
I've already
explanations
pulled that
then.
body from the sea.
Excellent, Domina Julia. Keeping one's word is the foundation of any solid partnership.
Uh-huh.
I know. Septimonte's current effort doesn't quite heed the Senate's wishes, but we'll see to that. A cup of poisoned wine, a passing fly, a dagger. Fate strikes where least expected. With someone as clever and calculated as you at the helm, the House of Silver need not fear for its survival.
I don't know about that
I
one.
do not work
considering
with you for
how he
our
do
sake.
that.
I do this for Septimont.
Because we straight up just
Some
got
of us
them
have forgotten
banished
the
from
terror of life
Septimont.
adrift at sea. To survive the tide, one must make the right choices.
Is that so?
We'll speak of other matters later. But tell me, why would you want a dead woman who fell into the sea?
Wait, dead woman?
Ah,
Oh.
you mean Mia? Indeed, she is the very heart of the unit I spoke of. The one we intend to build deep within these underground aqueducts.
So Mia's been dead for all these years then.
Alive or dead, her body holds the information we need. The Fraxidus's experiments here will continue for some time.
Yeah,
In the
Fraxis are pretty
meantime,
bad.
Covering up this little laboratory's existence will require your assistance, madam.
The heart? That weakling's resonance abilities were meager at best. Her performance in the arena was nothing special. If it weren't for those incompetent fools in the Senate, using her as a puppet to shift the attention and anger of the masses, she wouldn't even have made it to the finals.
Do not be
Interesting.
upset, my dear Domina. You're absolutely right. The girl is so feeble she can't resist her creator's will in the slightest.
So she's being used as a tool by everyone.
Winning the
at
Grand
this point.
Aegon was precisely what brought the shadow of death upon her. Luck and misfortune, nobility and lowliness, weakness and strength. A person's nature is like two sides of a coin. And I've always found beauty in inevitable tragedies.
So Mia has been dead all this time. She didn't leave Septimont when she vanished. The sea took her.
Maybe she... So it bothers me. I just want to make sure. Okay, it's not updated on the minimap then. So that just means that Mia, not only has Mia been dead, but then they've been using her body for experiments.
I
That's
hear
how everything got
cowering
started.
prey.
With me!
Okay. That is interesting though, because that means that, like, when she disappeared, does that mean that she threw herself into the sea, trying to avoid doing anything that would hurt anyone she cared about? Or was it just too much? And she did end up doing that. See, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the word on YouTube, and I don't really want to right now. But, also oh, nice.
Pretty good haul.
But yeah, whatever drove her to the sea, it doesn't change that now her body's just being used, and I had that feeling again when I first played it, that she's like a specter, like a ghost. We just had to put her to rest now. Well, that's quite the timing, to say the least, that I'm
I
playing with
hear
that.
cowering prey.
Time to fight! Together we howl!
I guess that's what they call it, fate.
The fight is on!
Okay.
Into the spotlight! Yeah, with me!
Actually wondering though. Well, first of all, how did they get her body? That means that her body was still pretty... not... I mean... It is a game, so obviously, like, there's gonna be some liberties taken, of course, and... Uh-oh.
That's some attack.
Let me just make sure to take care of you guys first.
Is that all?
But, yeah, I'm just thinking about, like how long has she been dead? And again, I mean, there's buoyancy in dead bodies, that's why they have some things like that, but still.
This
Must have
place
not
has the
been that
Fraxidus
pretty.
written all over it. Without the Silvers keeping the place hidden, they wouldn't have dared. The irony. A Septimontian aiding the enemy to build their den in the heart of our city. Even the impregnable Griffon's fortress crumbles from within.
Oh. Jeez. And now, unusual well then again, Lupa doesn't know them, huh?
I trust you've seen the experimental unit in the aqueducts. Well, what do you think?
If not for the sword embedded in her chest, I could mistake the corpse for being alive.
Damn.
Indeed. Decades have passed, yet Mia remains as she was when first pulled from the sea. Her data has been invaluable. As the Threnodian's failed resonator, this specimen is in its own way remarkable.
Oh, so she was one of the failures.
It wasn't so long ago that the rover intervened and Cartathea broke free from that tower. I discovered that a small piece of the Threnodian's essence within Mia was reawakened with the tower's resurgence into our world.
So that's what pushed Cartathea to go to
Sounds as though you
Septimont.
found new inspiration.
Yes. Septimont will host the Great Aegon soon. I've come up with a rather intriguing idea.
He's a little too enthusiastic
Before
for
her
my taste
death,
with that.
Mia also attended the tournament. I'll use that as the fictitious anchor to craft a play to rewrite reality itself. I've already discussed terms with it and reached a modest agreement.
You spoke with the Threnodian. Has Leviathan already awakened?
What? The
Only a
Threnodian can
fragment
speak?
of it remains. A weakened,
I didn't even know that I
cunning
could speak to
shard,
people who aren't
desperate
under
to
its
grow
influence.
stronger. I'll fashion a story for this sea creature, enabling it to fulfill what it once sought, to have the dark tides swallow Septimont whole.
Interesting.
The Threnodian once sought to use Mia to find Septimont's central hub in order to corrupt the beacon system. Even if met with failure, it would control the champion's mind to infiltrate the city's upper echelons.
So she was just being used as a
Oh
pawn.
well, it all failed in the end. In the face of her futility to resist corruption, that girl chose death. She drove a sword into her heart and leapt into the sea.
I kinda
before
figured as much.
choking on her own blood.
Sounds like Cartathea,
Fascinating, isn't it?
honestly.
Faced with the same predicament, strength and weakness still make a difference.
Like Cartathea had us to save her.
The
Mia,
blessed
she
maiden
didn't have it.
single-handedly thwarted the Threnodian's designs in Raguna, but this poor soul had no choice but to take her own life.
Damn.
A death so theatrical, so saturated with sorrow. How poetic.
Okay, dude, calm
How
down.
beautifully
Come on.
tragic.
I don't care for your taste, Cristoforo.
Yeah, neither do I, for Lover.
I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septimont this time?
Oh, such an impatient reader, Frolova. This play is nothing more than an amplifier designed to nurture the Threnodian's lingering power. Once it grows large enough, I'll overlay the Sonoro onto reality.
Okay.
All that's needed is for Domina Julia to select the right champion. Swapping out the protagonist is hardly a challenge.
That's what you say,
As the
but
sea creature
there's a
grows
lot of work
within
to
the
go into
cradle
that,
I
buddy.
forged from the dark tide, the hymn of journeying paradise will spread from Septimont across Renacita.
Oh, great.
Really, compared to those Septimontians who've long forgotten Mia, the story I've written for her is far more thrilling. Don't you agree?
They're using a corpse, my man.
And what if it fails?
It's literally a dead body.
Then so be it. You know, Frolova, stories are but mankind's attempt to imagine and rehearse fate.
Rehearse. Mm-hmm.
If this play proves Rover worthy of becoming the protagonist of my story, if they pass their trial by fire,
Jeez, you
then
guys are
isn't
so
that a victory as
obsessed with the
well?
rover. If anything, that explained a lot, though.
Disgusting.
There's little bits of
To
the child
treat
blight here.
Septimont like a plaything. Unforgivable. What is so poetic or romantic about a story where someone is driven to death?
And that's how we know that the Fractals are villains. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of comically evil, but, you know, any sympathy that we have gets overshadowed by the fact that their goals are not for the good of society or for humanity. Yeah. But then Cardathea, she broke the other unit, though. So, I wonder if that's gonna be shown here. I'll leave to exploration till later, not right now.
I hear cowering.
With me!
Uh,
End you!
so I'm hoping that that it's not catching my yawns on the mic, but regardless, I think that's just because that's my own fault because I didn't get enough sleep last night, or didn't get good sleep last night. It's no one's fault but my own, so I'll just deal with it. I got techniques to make sure to wake myself up.
All or nothing!
Okay.
Into the spotlight!
That's kind of why I've been going silent, because my mind's mostly focusing on what's in front of me when I'm doing these battles.
Now's the second half.
Like, I can talk while doing it, that's not an issue, it's just that, like, I'm kind of, like,
Start!
I don't know, I feel like I'm in a daze, I guess, right now.
Together we howl!
I'm not sure how to use Lupa.
With me!
Though it seems like I really need to be using her ult more, but I kind of like trying things out without it,
Lackluster.
just to see, but...
Face me,
Bro, don't
coward!
yawn, I'm about to yawn too, dang it. And... Okay, we're doing the cutting, right, because the gate's covered, got it. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Echo, grant me strength. Let's get the move on. So I guess perks of being, let's call it very... Sorry, that thing... Yeah. I guess I'm a Pavlovian dog with how my ears is perked up with this. Jeez. Good grief. Uh-oh.
Still lingering, Mia.
Oh boy.
A fading reverberation that should have dissolved in the deep long ago.
What is this voice effect? It is unnerving.
Are you going?
To claim the title. Was that not your unfulfilled wish?
That was never mine. The arena. I don't need this victory.
Damn it, she's fighting with herself.
But I do. Without a champion and the lion beast, I cannot touch the central hub left by Imperator.
This goes to show how powerful the Sentinels are.
You, Cartithia, both my daughters, my very creations. Why this fruitless resistance?
You know, maybe you're a bad parent. You know?
Has Septimont ever granted you kindness? They neither love you nor need you. Long have you been forgotten.
Good grief. Really playing into her insecurities right there.
We were raised by them. You will never understand.
Proud in battle, and yet yearning for strength. I know the heart of the Septimontians far better than you.
Is that so, huh?
Mia, you are simply too afraid to face their true nature. You choose to deceive yourself. You cannot admit that they used you, and then cast you aside. You cannot accept that from the start you were insignificant.
No. Viburnum. My flowers.
Oh no.
Hush, it matters not. Your thoughts are of little consequence.
So then that's what happened to Mia then. Not only did she die, but the Threnodians taking over her body. If anything, now we have everything unlocked.
Viburnum. The bloodleaf viburnum of Septimont. Oh, I understand. It's a flower often given to gladiators. A symbol of victory.
Let's see where this leads. But yeah, now I'm just thinking about it, so that means that Mia is being controlled. I'm trying to keep myself on focus, but it's hard to also focus with how I'm realizing that I'm actually more tired than I thought I was. But still, the important part is we're getting through the story and remembering it.
Shame. Shame for something I didn't choose. Shame for something that's just there. Sometimes it turns into doubt. I try to live free, and I do most days. But still, I see it. I see the pain in their faces. In the ones who fall behind, the ones who leave the field beaten, the ones who pin all their hopes on me. I've always wondered if I didn't have this gift, could I have reached this point with clean hands? Should I have judged those who trampled the rules to survive? Or was I blind to my own arrogance?
Sometimes we didn't know, but then we just do the best we can. That's what I would say. It sucks in the moment, but then
Now.
you always move forward through it.
I don't think like that anymore.
The warrior is stronger than me, no doubt, but he treats everyone the same. He didn't choose to stand alone. Instead, he chose to trust me.
Well, strength is a
Cartathea
choice.
spent years trapped by the weight of everyone's expectations. Never stepped foot in Septimont before, but still sailed across the seas to be here.
I still don't know how she got there, by the way.
And Mia. Her resonance ability might be weak, but she never ran from a fight. She fought till her last breath. A heart isn't shaped by what it's born with or what it's been given.
It's by the
I've
choices you
underestimated
make.
others. And I've underestimated myself too.
That's why your choices are important. Getting a little philosophical
But
there,
you, the arrogance,
yeah.
thinking you understand the darkness in people's hearts, but you don't have a single drop of life in you. Beautiful as ever. The Griffon's fortress. My city, Septimont. Built by the hands of the people. Not the Sentinel, and not the Threnodian. Where there's light, there's always shadow. But people need light. They'll chase it no matter what. And they'll learn to live with the shadow. Mia, Cartathea, they were born and raised on these islands. They are daughters of Rinascita. They belong to no gods but their own.
Well then, I know it's a PNG, but I'm smirking right now because I'm just proud of Lupa. Because that's, again, you're free to make the choices that you make. You may be born in a land, but that doesn't mean that you have to adhere to everything that it does. Not only that, but you can rise above the choices that other people make for you. You aren't a slave to anyone unless you choose to be. And even then, you can make the best of what you can in the situations that you're in. In the end, never give up. That's what I'm trying to get at. Just like she hasn't.
Better to die than to be a puppet. Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
I'm liking this little sequence. I know a lot of people, it annoys me with the whole walking, but this is important. This is a good story moment, I'd say.
But I prefer to handle this my way.
Because each time, these are people fighting against fate, against what people say that they're supposed to be.
Isn't won in an instant.
And it really resonates as a message again, just because I believe very strongly in the freedom of choice and freedom of will.
I believe in you.
Because like Rover said, people aren't meant to be tools, treated like tools. Civilization means nothing if there's no humans and no people, no heart in it at all. That's why we have to do our best to be a good influence on each other and others as well. Mia's return? Did Mia return a bit? Oh bloody hell.
I swear by the eternal sun, I will slay you!
Oh damn, this music is hitting hard. I like that. But this isn't a grand battle. Well, it is a grand battle, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact matter is, we're trying to put her down to bring Mia some peace and to save Septima. That's how I'm taking this. So that's what so that's what Christopher was talking about when he was talking to part of the
What right do you have to judge the people of Renacita? Mia chose her end with dignity. Your very existence is an insult to her. Look at you cowering in this little incubator, desperate to evade your end. You will never understand what it takes to face the fear of death.
Ow. Sorry, I'm stuck in the thinking about the lore.
In with me.
Still though, it's fine. I really need to parry that.
A shame. Is that all? With me to victory!
Let's see how good I really am.
With me.
Come on, break it.
Try that again.
Okay. Let's see how good I am. I'm not dungeon main, but still. Okay. Hopefully I can get this. Oh, that's not good.
Does the veil of glory await me?
Well, if anything, that's proof that people do die in this. Or can die in this. Ah, bloody hell.
Born of the hearts of countless men and women, of babes and of the aged.
Also, it's doing... I'm realizing it's doing arrow damage. Okay, I gotta be more careful, yeah. Ow.
What right do you have to judge the people of Renacita? Mia chose her end with dignity.
This goes to show that I'm still kind of asleep at the wheel, so we gotta lock in.
Look at you cowering in this little incubator.
There we go.
Desperate to evade your end. You will never understand what it takes to face the fear of death. Is that all?
This music's going hard. Gotta lock in though. If I go quiet, that's probably why. Okay. Let's go, Lupa. Yeah, we can do this. We got this. Just gotta believe. Not sure what the tells are, but it's okay. No. We aren't uniting at all. You can simulate these nuts in your mouth.
Meaning. A shame.
And it goes to show how carrot I kind of am.
Meaningless move. Together we howl with me.
Okay. Come on, we got this. We can make this move. It's more than just that. Ah, bloody hell. No. There's only one god. And you're not it, man. I kinda like that.
Lackluster.
Okay, with the music hitting like this, no way we are not losing now.
The fight is on! Great darkness! Together we howl! I'll end with me!
Not yet. It's not over yet. There we go. Let's pretend that was one try.
Greatness has no summit, and victory is never the final word. Proud! Pitiful! Cry! Love!
Damn, this music's...
Race to the
Ooh.
finish! To face death with the crown of glory! By my will! Let this light burn in all its fury! To me, there is no greater joy in this world.
If anything, we're putting, like I said earlier, we're putting Mia back to rest where she really needs
What
to
a
be.
shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
Well, yeah, dude, you need to go on AO3, motherfucker. Oh, and speaking of which, there she is.
What are you two plotting in Renacita?
Oh, dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
That just means that there's more to Renacita than... So wait, do we just literally see Scar for that moment and that's it? That's wild. But she came out... That's the important part though. Lupa's free and Mia's free.
Lupa!
There we are. That and now she knows again that she has people she can trust and she's not alone. That's always nice to have. Up. Luckily I'm in a well-lit room so this doesn't like what's called flashbang me. There you go.
It's real!
Okay, hold up.
You are safe.
Let me just man, I do not get the timing right on this. This is so difficult. Because I want to, you know, the way that I do my snipping is the shortcut. There you go. But yeah, I am copying and pasting this. I like this. I hope that they do. I'm not sure if they have, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like they would have provided a, what do you call it? A actual proper art render of it. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it though. They usually have, again, the art in Wuthering Waves is always pretty good. In fact, I've been taken to, you know, that's probably the reason why I got the comic anthology and ordered it. Because I want to look at the art both for reference and just also because, again, there's a lot to learn from it, I'd say.
The Threnodian's
But yeah.
frequency is gone. Well done, Lupa.
Yep.
You found the
Renacita's
righteous
free.
one and safeguarded Septimont. It's like something out of a knight's tale. No, wait, gladiator's tale?
Of course, Carter is goofy. Oh, is Abby gonna come out this time too? There he is.
Phew! Finally, I can stick my head out. Rover, you okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Looks like we defeated the Thrunodian in every single word now.
I'm fine, Abby. What happened to you earlier?
Yeah, Abby disappeared.
We're already in Septimon?
Yeah, wait.
I was just talking to you, and then boom! It felt like something just covered me.
Oh, so because we were caught in the anomaly, Abby couldn't come out.
First it messed with my frequency, then I just passed out. Wait, Carthea? And a girl I don't know?
It's okay, we'll introduce you.
You're lively. Your echo's more boisterous than a Tada.
Ta-da! That's all I think of every time I see ta-da.
What happened while I was out?
A lot of things happened, Abby.
I think it's time we compare notes. Let's fill in this story's blanks, shall we?
Mm-hmm. That way we could get the lore figured out. So Doomsday was prevented. All of these fictional stories ended. So... Even though she, yeah, exactly. Even though she felt unaccepted. Exactly. If anything, that's good to know that they're free. Again. Now, not only is Carthea free from her fate, but Lupa is free from the torturous groundhog loop that was keeping her to Septimon. Let's, yeah, okay, well, what? You know what? I don't think it matters, right?
When I sensed the Thrunodian's power here in Septimon,
so we're gonna talk to both of them.
I immediately set out to find its source. It was quite sudden. I slipped through the smallest of cracks to enter this Sonoro, which severed my contact with the outside world.
So that's why we didn't hear from her for a while.
I found Lupa in the city. She had lost her role.
Well then.
We traveled together for a time, and discovered the architects of the destruction, the Fraxidus playwright Cristoforo, and the Thrunodian.
So now the rover knows
Sadly,
that Cristoforo is part of
the playwright
it.
did eventually erase Lupa's existence. As for me, I descended into the submerged aqueducts where I found the Thrunodian. It had inhabited Nia's remains and was hiding within an experimental unit. Unfortunately, I was unable to eliminate it entirely.
So that's
It
why
evaded
the
me,
loop kept
slipping
going
into
then.
hiding.
Until
I
Lupa,
reasoned that you would sense the anomaly
until
and
Lupa
come to
defeated the
Septimon, so I sought to
Thrunodian
offer
in
you
Mia's
my
body.
aid. I battled the playwright, and in doing so, stripped him of his ability to control the script. Afterward, he, along with the other Fraxidus overseers, fled from me. With that, the Sonoro began to collapse. It was then that we finally met.
So that's how
Is
that
there anything
happened.
else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
Well then,
Lupa and
what
I
about these
formed a few
roles?
theories during our investigation, though they may not be entirely accurate.
Hey, we'll take
In this
anything.
Sonoro, where stories manifest as reality, roles define the identities of those within it.
Okay.
To lose your role is to lose both your name and memory.
Basically be
In
turned into an
truth,
NPC.
Mia has long since passed, and does not truly exist here. It was Lupa, not Mia, who won the 3-day Aegon. I suspect the stories created by the playwright cannot stray too far from their original frameworks.
Which makes sense because,
The
again,
limitation of his
as
resonance ability.
as Rover was thinking about
This is
before,
why he erased Lupa's name.
there's only so
swapping
much,
her and Mia's identities.
like, there's only so much of reality that he
This
can handle
allowed Mia to summon
like,
the dark
switch
time
and
from
change.
Septimon.
Even then, he's not really changing reality in the sense of trying to overwrite it. I guess if I had to describe it, it's kind of like how when you delete data on a hard drive, it's not actually deleting the data, it's just marking it for the ability to rewrite it, or overwrite the, what do you call it, what's over it. So the data gets overwritten Hopefully, okay, well, we'll see how, at least on, yeah, on my laptop and it seems like things are fine. I don't have two screens, so that's why I'm checking the laptop.
Is there anything else you wish
Because
to ask,
I can't
righteous
see
one?
the stream, so I don't know how
The central
well
hub
it's going.
within
When
the
I
Veil
looked
of
in
Glory
OBS, it was kind of
established by
laggy.
the Sentinel,
Okay.
and it appears no one had ever entered it before.
Oh, okay.
Activating it requires two key conditions. Victory, which grants the blessing bestowed by the Lioness of Glory through the Sentinel's mandate. The Threnodian set its sights on Mia for this very reason, which, in turn, brought its attention to Lupa. I
Because
struck
Lupa
a
was a
significant blow
champion.
to the Threnodian within the story, but because I failed to prevent the corruption of the central hub earlier, it endured, drawing strength from that source.
Throughout this journey, I often saw the figures of Lupa and Mia overlap.
Yeah.
It seems the Threnodian was attempting to replace Lupa, hoping to use her to corrupt the hub, siphon its power, and ultimately destroy Renacita.
And luckily we made it fail.
Is there anything else you wish to ask, righteous one? Apart from the playwright, I also encountered two other Fraxidus leaders. One, a woman with a bandaged eye.
Lova's name doesn't really
Surely
match the
they must be
description,
for
but
Lova and-
Scar.
Scar. But how is Scar in Renacita?
Guess we'll have to find out in the next story.
Unfortunately, I never had the chance to confront either of them directly. I saw them only briefly.
So yeah,
before
Scar
they
literally just
disappeared.
appears for that one scene, laughs, and disappears.
I'm not sure why they've gathered here in Septimont. We must
Whatever the
prepare
case
for whatever
is,
plans they have.
I'm trusting Kuro to write us in the right direction at least, because so far they've been making sense with their directioning.
Is there anything else
I
you
mean,
wish
I don't
to
have
ask?
any
The
other questions.
Threnodian's frequency
That's
has
about it.
vanished from Septimont, but I fear this is far from over.
Yeah, we only freed Raccoona, and Septimont's not free,
There
but
is
who knows where
something
else there is.
Perhaps due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting.
That's not good.
The Threnodian's pull is growing stronger. Now that I think of it, this could very well be part of the Fraxidus' plan.
You need to head to the Black Shores, Cordothea. They've been dealing with the Thenodian for years. You should go there and run some tests.
Yeah.
They'll know how to handle what's coming.
That's the point of the Black Shores anyways. We're trying to prevent more wave-worn phenomena from tearing people apart. That's what the Lament is anyways. All of the tragedies across Solaris 3. That's what we just call the Lament. So that's why the Black Shores is
Is that where you're
important.
from? If it's a place you trust, then I will go.
Thank you. So then... so that means that Cardothea and Shorekeeper will eventually meet, I guess.
The event that brought forth the dark tide, it must have been my death.
Yeah, seems
After
like
that,
it.
the details of the story blur. It repeated so many times.
So
It's
that
hard to
means,
remember
like I was
everything.
saying, she was basically stuck in a Groundhog Day loop.
All I remember is wandering the desolate city streets in a Septimont corrupted by the dark tide, unable to escape, until I met Cardothea. She saved me. But in that story, we couldn't fully resolve the source of the disaster. Then in another story, I encountered you, my fellow warrior. After we parted, I awoke in yet another story, in the Veil of Glory, where I finally saw the Threnodian's true form in the submerged aqueducts. It had taken control of Mia's corpse, and was using the Fraxidus' Sonoro to grow its power. After defeating it, the Sonoro began to collapse. I passed through those crumbling pages to find you. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Okay.
My death. Well, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey to win the championship. I had failed to expose the family's match fixing. After being deceived by Domina Julia and winning the title on my own, my memories became a blur. I was probably under some form of control. The last thing I clearly remember was standing in the central hub in the Veil of Glory, pressing my spear into something that resembled a control panel. Then the dark tide began to surge.
So
In
that's
the
how
end,
that happened.
all of Septimont was swallowed by it. I'm not sure when all this started, or where the line between the reality I knew and the Sonora world created by the Faxidus began to blur. But in those 3 days of the story where Cartothea didn't rescue me, I would always die on the first day, helplessly watching as my home slowly crumbled to dust.
So that's what we saw in that Doomsday. She died. She'd been dying each time.
Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back. Cartothea saved me. The me who had lost her role and her memories. We wandered the abandoned city of Septimon and pieced together that the Fraxidus and the Threnodian were the true architects of the chaos. Yet in the end, my role was claimed by the Threnodian, and my body disappeared before Cartothea's eyes. But before I was lost to oblivion, Cartothea gave me a sliver of her frequency.
So that's why her frequency was on her.
I think it was that frequency that unknowingly led to our paths crossing in the story. Is there anything else you want to know? Many years ago, Mia cast herself into the sea to escape the Threnodian's control. But Domina Julia recovered her broken body from the depths and handed it over to the Fraxidus. For years, they subjected her remains to twisted experiments until the Threnodian's essence, still lingering within her, finally awakened. The Threnodian took control of Mia's corpse.
So that's what happened to her
turning
then.
it into a half-human, half-sea creature monstrosity. It formed an alliance with the Fraxidus.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, the half-human, half-sea creature stuff is standard for the Fraxidus. If you've seen how the Fraxidus enemies look like.
The last trace of Mia's reverberation was forced to be part of it. Tortured and ravaged.
So Mia, what was left of her? Because reverberation more or less just means, like, I guess, her soul, her spirit, in some beliefs.
Is there anything
I don't
else you want
believe
to know?
that personally,
I'll
but
hold nothing back.
essentially what happened was that one last bit of Mia was forced to be in that body, unable to control it, unable to do anything. And as we saw in the cutscenes, the Threnodian kept pushing her down, putting her down, and kept making it, you know, it's called playing into her insecurities about who she was in life.
Oh, the script and the copper mirror you gave me. I'll return them to you now. It was a long story, but the ending turned out well. Though,
Yeah.
Thinking of Mia still upsets me.
I mean, that is true. I
Her
mean,
reverberations, trapped in that monstrous body.
yeah, 20...
I can't imagine her suffering over the last 20 years.
Wait, Mia was suffering the same amount of time as Cartothea, basically. And they both had different outcomes, and Cartothea was only fine only because the rover was able to end her suffering.
When you defeated the Threnodian, you also set her free.
Yep.
Yes. It was an honor to have that final battle with her. Thanks to you and Cartothea, I was able to rewrite the tragic ending of this story. Thank you, my fellow warrior, for believing in me.
I thank you for doing
There's
all
one
that you
more
could.
thing. We should return to the central hub in Septimon. I found something tied to you there.
The
Wait,
central hub.
Something tied to
Good
the
timing.
rover?
There's something I need to handle in the Veil of Glory, too.
Wait,
Good.
what?
Let's set off together.
Okay. Well, you know what that means. Also, is this gonna be the usual...
The Threnodian.
The Threnodian's thing hasn't vanished from
The
Septimon.
Threnodian's frequency has vanished from Septimon.
Okay, how about you, Lupa?
Thank you, my fellow warrior.
And that's why we trust in you. But trust is a dangerous and fickle thing. Best not to let it... Best not to trust people who aren't worthy of it. Which, in Lupa's case at least, I believe she was more than worthy. Not only from the fact that we fought alongside with her, but she had a sense of justice that... Honestly, it would be hard not to go with her again. Because, man... like match fixing, I'm pretty sure people who are into sports, or even actually yeah, even esports people would understand that somewhat. I think with how if the match is fixed, like this, like I'm not sure if that Mike Tyson. I don't know anything about boxing, by the way, so I really don't know what happened with it, so I can just guess. And this is just me just talking out of my ass right now, but fact matter is that whatever happened in that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight really upset people, and if it was match fixing as people implied, that just means that, well, also I was just checking the stream. That just means that, well, again, understandably so, that's something that we should not be allowing, unless it's for something, you know, some silly stuff. But man, so this is what the central hub looks like. And it looks like it's been repaired since last time because we prevented the ending and the stories that occurred here.
When Lupa vanished, I destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory it controlled. Then, I came across this place. You remember how the Threnodian took on a part of the Sentinel's knowledge and permissions, yes?
Okay. Yeah. So.
For the Sentinel, the information stolen was their very memories.
Wait.
For this reason, even the Sentinel forgot that before merging with the Threnodian, they transferred some of their knowledge to the central hub in Septimont.
So that means that Imperator's memories are still there. Forget. So that means that we have more clues of who Rover is.
One the Threnodian should never learn. The Sentinel moved it there for safekeeping.
So what? I wonder what it is then.
Within it, I found a special frequency. A part of it felt like yours. I believe it's what the Sentinel left for you, so I took it.
So that's what our past selves meant when we made a pact with him, with Imperator.
It seems like a clue. The true secret they left for you is not here, but in that direction. You see, before I came to meet you, I passed by the city of Septimont. The arena I destroyed has been restored, but in the people's hearts, it's still the Righteous One and Lupa who claimed victory. The Fraxidus's power to reshape reality is deeper than we realized. I'm afraid this is just the beginning.
So then, even though it was Lupa who originally won, everyone believes in their hearts that we were the ones who won.
Fraxidus to regain power, but its true goal is the central hub. I believe it's due to this secret the Sentinel has hidden.
That direction, it leads to the hunting grounds.
Oh boy.
The blight cloud still lingers there. When the high tide comes, Septimontians hunt and cull the spawning Tacit Discords.
The dark tide connects everything.
That's that's everything that's connecting us to.
I'm afraid you must go there yourself.
Interesting.
But the worst of the storm has passed. Let's take a moment to rest.
Just for now. Also, I didn't realize that this song, man.
Lupa, will you be our tour guide? Show us the sights and glories of Septimont?
If anything, I would like a break after this. That was
the wind blowing
a
through
pretty not only an intense story and a lot of lore to think about, but
of course, it would be my honor.
It would be, you know, it's a nice character
before
moment
we go,
to talk about.
There's something I need to do first.
I wonder if it's related to Mia. Probably to put her remains at rest. Especially in here in the Veil of It's the Veil. Victory, was it? Veil of Glory. Yeah, that's her sword.
Travel through a silver veil.
What was that?
It's Mia's sword.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a lot to bring it back. The monster is gone now.
Yeah.
Like so many Septimontian heroes whose bodies were never recovered, I wanted to return her weapon.
Yeah, because Mia was turned into that abomination.
This is where she gave her life. I can't say if she loved or hated Septimont more.
Hmm.
But she once spoke of the bloodleaf viburnum. It's a tribute often given to gladiators by their supporters. So, I think she would have wanted to rest here. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. I'm taking another screenshot. Hold up. There we go. It's always so difficult to do this. I don't know why I do it myself. I could just use print screen, but it's fine. I choose to do this of my own volition. Okay.
Our city. The city of glory.
Mm-hmm.
The people here love to drink, laugh, carve statues, and hunt.
And also apparently get into tussles where they really are
It
outmatched.
burns like fire, drenched in both victory and defeat. It holds all our disappointments. And all our hopes.
Oh man. I wonder what they have in store, because it sounds like Renacita is still going to be the focus. But we've got the ending. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. So that's more lore to figure out then. To see. Oh, I still haven't done. Yeah, I haven't touched. I guess right because I haven't done the story. I've never done the banners never fall apart. Right. I'll do that another time. But yeah, I did enjoy that part of the story. Again, like it's
I will
like
be there for
themes
everyone
of freedom,
as we
of
head toward our
choice.
shared
Those
future,
things like
leaving the
resonate with
past
me
behind.
a lot, and it really matches what I believe. And I mean, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, but I'm not a perfect example. So, of course, like there are things that I could definitely improve on, as anyone can. But something that resonates with me with that story was just the fact that, again, despite everything, despite all the pain and suffering, Mia chose to not only sacrifice herself to prevent, to hopefully prevent the tragedies that would have occurred, but also she decided to go out still looking at a place that was technically, what some people would think is not her home, because she's a Ragunasi. She's from this portion of Renacita, and yet she made Septimont, with all its flaws, her new home. Just goes to show too that, again, if you go follow the right path and everything, you can make a home is wherever you choose to stay and be. That's what I think, at least. Home doesn't have to be where you're from all the time. It's nice when it is, but that's not always the case, you know? So anyways, I'm gonna go take care of some of this real quick, but
We're loading.
like this is where this is just gonna be a little bit more of a grind. But yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to process though what the implications are, because I want to know what is this the secret that the Sentinel left for us. What did Imperator leave for Rover?
The wicked.
Because clearly it was important enough to have it hidden from everyone else. So that means that maybe maybe there's something to do with Rover's identity in there too, and who we were before this.
Tides, rise and crash.
Okay.
Exonerate.
Furious tides.
I mean, okay, so I just did the rotation weird there because I wanted to get the benefits later on of doing the liberation rose. The alt. I'm just gonna call it alt.
The night's challenge has arrived.
But yeah, I mean,
Ordained.
this now that we have some questions answered about Lupa and her role in the story, and apparently it's a literal role, which
waves follow.
I kind of liked. I mean, I do like the little, because of how Christopher was a playwright. Obviously, like it would be one of those things where there's a lot of like play on words or things like that, which I do enjoy. I mean, they basically play it up like, you know, pretty seriously, I'd say. So
Repent.
like that's why I'm like, you know, and any other thing, like, I mean, it's admittedly goofy, not gonna lie, just because like it's very on the nose, you know.
Vexing
But
malice.
fact matter is, this I don't think the story suffers because of it
Till
though.
the denouement.
So because of that, I'm totally fine with all this silly, like, oh, you know, he's a playwright, so, oh, he's writing a story and whatever. Like, things like that, like, I'm not exactly against. I have no idea why I did that. Let's see. Oh, I don't. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do this later. Let's see, what do I have?
I will be there for everyone.
Because, sorry, I'm not just trying to get the dailies done so I don't have to worry about it. But, yeah.
Well, whatever it is, I'll play my role to the fullest.
I think the story was good, I'd say. So, we'll see, like, how things go, though, in the future, because obviously there's gonna be more for them to tell us about what's going on with, Rover in the future that they have in Solaris.
They used to call me Jolly Sun in my village. I prefer Lumi though. The sun sets at night, but I'm always ready to illuminate someone's way home.
That's nice. So she...
Make this quick.
I guess it's kind of like how Chishia has a different name.
Another heroic me.
Yeah, you know, maybe one of these days I'll actually build up Chishia, because I've seen those videos of solo Chishia. It's kind of like the dungeon mains, now that I think about it, with how they kind of like just, like, they really just show that you don't necessarily need to be incredibly built to do endgame content. Okay, well, no, you do need to have the right stats and echoes and all of that. But I'm just like thinking about how, like, you don't have to have like the premium teams, you don't need to have like all these like characters and whatnot. All you really need is your own skill in the end. Like, it's nice to like have all these characters and all these, you know, strengthening.
Understood.
Because as you saw during the fight, I definitely got my ass kicked at the end. So like that definitely, what's called, put a damper and like humbled me a bit. But the fact of the matter is that when you're playing this game, you can still do well even without having to, you know, roll for characters you're not interested in, or roll for, you know, like grind for you know, weapons that you don't want. I think it's a good balance so far. But yeah, I think, yeah, for now at least, I'm taking a look at what I have, but yeah, I think for now, I think I'll call it there. That was a good, you know, the story ended, like, you know, actually before anything. Wait, hold up. I saw something before, but let me just... You know, yeah, let's go to the hotel first. Yeah, but the story so far, I'm invested. Before I do go talk to Lupa, though, I do want to go on a quick tangent. I'm just gonna, you know, just have the UI disappear for a bit. But wait, she's from Hong Long. What? And hold up, let me walk away because I saw that she was talking about something. Okay, sorry, I'm distracted because of what this NPC was saying, because she was talking about, you know, helping her mom. I don't know where she's gone, but yeah, let's just stay here while I rant on about it. But something you know, some people have been wondering is, you know, how come we haven't begun returning characters? And as an example, you know,
everyone. As we head toward our shared future.
It was only in the beginning that we really saw people like Tao Chi, Guan Yu, Ling Yang. I mean, Ling Yang has a character story, but still, we don't see him outside of Huang Long and Jinzhou. Yohu, we only see her briefly during the start of the 1.3 story for Black Shores, and I think that's the last time we really saw Yang Yang. Then we had the, what do you call it, the story for, what is it called again? The dream area, I forgot what it's called, does it say right here? The Somnor story, and that's all the way in, again, over here, the Whining Axis Mire, Axis, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm really bad with that. But yeah, I went through all of this as soon as it came out, so I remember, you know, playing through it all. We don't really see returning characters that often.
There for everyone.
But then again, the thing about it is that I feel like people, you know, sometimes forget that this is our story as Rover.
As we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
It's his decisions that are, you know, guiding us along with what's important to his story, or their story, I guess, because, you know, I'm playing male Rover, but, you know, some people will be playing female Rover. But it's Rover whose journey determines all of the things that we are doing. So in 1.0, we were just barely getting introduced to the world because Rover woke up and he was not really sure what's going on. He was basically amnesiac, and that's where we find out about tacit discords, you know, abilities, the different quote-unquote elements, what echoes are, what makes them different from tacit discords, what a Threnodian is, and what people, you know, what it's like to live in this world. And Jinzhou, as an intro, might not have been the greatest personally. I enjoyed it because I'm a fan of these kinds of stories where, again, you know, not only the power of friendship, but then the main characters and playing an active role in helping. I didn't know that people were about to you, but the main characters playing an active role in the world. Not only are they playing an active role, but then they make changes in the world, and helps it for the better. A kind of the usual hero story, I guess. But as you go on, as you're trying, one of the goals that we have is to not only figure out ourselves, but who we are as the Rover, but also to make sure that, you know, the lament isn't progressing further, and that we're preventing all those, you know, tragedies from happening, or we're preventing what we can from happening, at least, I would think. Don't mind me, I'm just doing some grocery shopping. Because the fact of the matter is that, well, we're, this world is kind of post-apocalypse, or current apocalypse, I would think. This is what I would personally categorize it as, because even though we have civilizations and all of that, like as an example, we have this this wonderful walled city, city in Septimont, and like people live around here, but then right next door, like right here, there's still all the tacit discords going on. There's a lot of like the hunting grounds. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but yeah, like there's still the whole like the threat that's constantly looming over. People are able to live their lives, but then the threat's still there, especially with how like there's a lot of problems still being overcome, like in Raguna. Now that Cardathia has been freed from the tower, I'm not sure how the lore is going with it because of her trailer, but the stories do show, they're still trying to figure out themselves. I feel like they're going into like their version of like a reformation now, because now the Threnodian's not holding such a hard grip on who can think about it. And then as we learned with Mount Firmament, okay, maybe yeah, I think Hongjin, then Mount Firmament and Hongjin is probably another, is another part of Honglong. Maybe not, its own thing though, I wonder. But even in here, we had some lore drops where, again, the history between Rover and the world, what is possible in the world, because this is where they get the whole second resonance thing, because that's how Jinshi and Jue saved Mount Firmament, because of how she fought him. I don't even know what Jue is. I just am gonna call it Jue. But because of that fight, that's what allowed them to have the second resonance, to allow Jinshi to have more power, more of the Sentinel's power, as well as to save the people and undo the damage that was done. But inadvertently, that also just proves something that the Fraxidus were trying to figure out as well. And even in the Raguna Renacita, let's call it, story with Cantarella, like that's over here we were figuring out more like social problems and trying to get to the Sentinel. And when we finally won the Laurel, that's how we learned about the inverted tower, but we didn't have enough connections to even figure out anything about it. That's where Cantarella came in. And as we learned from Cantarella, she actually had a successful second residence, but then instead of taking that power for herself, she gave that power back. And like something that I've talked to with some other people is the fact that the animation that everyone thinks is like makes Wuwa Gunner because of how seductive Cantarella appears, which is also kind of playing into her character from what I understand personally, because she also puts on a front, because in her heart she's a kind woman, but she also is what the rumors tell her. Tell us about her.
I shall have
like
no
how
one tarnishing
like how she's basically someone who poisons people, and how like she's very much like someone who can more or less handle like a lot of like family business and all of that. Like there's a lot of things that like I feel like is in the lore regarding Cantarella that really plays into her character. Like even her trailer where she's portrayed in a more seductive femme fatale kind of light. I'm not sure if I'm using that word right, but even that's playing up into her mystery to the rest of the world. But when you spend the time with her and how she is as a person, you realize that despite this, facade that she puts on, she's more than capable of being, let's call it, a kind motherly figure. In fact, I think that's who she really is personally. Like, it's our bias, of course, because of our experience with her, and as I say this as she's seductively licking her finger, but again, like, that just shows that there's more to the character depth than any, not than any other games, but then it's more than what people see initially. Kind of like how... Okay, wait, hold up.
The tide
so she's up here.
I alone will decide.
Man, she is so small.
The power to split and match matter.
Anyways,
Understood.
No, but yeah,
I'm
like
here.
with
I
Carlotta
alone
too,
will
something you don't
decide
get
whether
in her
it's for
in the
show
main
or
story,
for
but you will
battle.
get in her, like you get hints of it in the main story, but you won't get it in, you don't get the full, like, I guess scene of it, like a full showing
I
of it
alone will decide
in
whether
let's
it's
call
for
it the
show
main
or for
story,
battle.
but you get hints of how she second guesses herself, how she's still pretty young and at heart and like in mind because she's very hesitant, she's very passionate, but then she's also unsure of her place. I mean, it also makes sense why she has the little ahog. Does Cantarella have one? No, she doesn't.
The tides have whispered of your arrival.
But yeah, like
I
Carlotta
alone
is
will
very much
decide
a
whether
young
it's for
character,
show or for
someone
battle.
who's very, you know, she's not inexperienced, but she has to grow into it. Things like that, like that's what, you know, that's what I've been liking about the characters in Wuthering Waves at least. Because like
I will be there for everyone.
the rover
as we head
obviously
toward our shared future,
is someone who,
leaving
you
the
know, is
past
going for
behind.
their own ends. Like that's not to say it's a bad thing because rover will always help out. Of course, there, you know, you better have a reward
Plan
in
with
the end.
convention,
But then
then
all these other
conquer
characters
by
have their own
ingenuity.
internal depth and like, you know, things that make you kind of like care about the world and the people in it. Like even if like, you know, again, like you know, we haven't spent that much time in Septimont. It's only been a year since Wuwo came out, and there's still a lot of things they can improve on. Like as an example, something that kind of annoys me, like it's not too egregious, but it's the auto sections and like, you know, some of the story. I think the one that we had in this story was the one with Cardathea and her breaking that central like hibernation capsule thing, whatever that was. Like things like that, like, you know, I feel like, I know it might be a bit much because I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive to get the cutscenes all set up, but I feel like that could just have been a cutscene in of itself so that they didn't have to worry about it. But maybe it would have been too big for a file size. I don't know. But as you can tell, I've fallen pretty deep into the lore for this game. And I really enjoy it. That's why I've stuck with it, even though, again, the start, you know, was rough. Anyways, we're gonna talk with Lupa before I end stream. But man, Lupa?
You've come, warrior.
Oh, she's drunk.
Are you drinking?
Yep.
Just wheat juice.
It's not wheat juice, that's beer. Good grief.
Sure. Wheat juice.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would say too.
Today you...
Today are my what?
Oh, you smell nice. Like dried wheat. Warm.
Yep, at this point I would be giving her some water. Yeah, I was gonna, you know, between these two choices, I'd be like, do you really have a wolf sense of smell? Like, I would be surprised that I'd smell like wheat, personally.
my forte gave me the tail. But it seems my nose is keener than most.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's not fine. Yeah, she's not okay. Yeah. Look, I got you.
It's good to have my fellow warrior by my side.
Man, she went hard after the story.
Lupa, you've had enough wheat juice.
Mm-hmm.
Sit. Take a break for a moment.
Yeah, I'll go grab you some water.
Even though it's over, there's still a heaviness.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes
drink
sometimes,
helps.
you know? Now, I don't drink, so I don't know about that last part, but still, that's why you gotta give yourself time to, you know, process all of that.
I've sent word to the F4's palace about Domina Julia. But finding the silvers that fled will take time.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's out of our hands, I'd say. At least for now, you've informed
4 years
the people.
ago, Augusta won the title of champion. Since becoming Airform, much of the corruption tied to the arena has been cleared.
Interesting.
If Mia had lived, perhaps things would have been different.
Well, that's always the hard thought to have, but...
Sometimes I wonder, what would my life have been like if my parents hadn't handed me over
man,
to
she's
the
that kind of
Silvers
drunk.
when we first came to Septimont. Huh.
I mean, we always wonder things like that.
Just like
different
one of
paths.
those stories with the different endings.
Well, it's always a well, I wouldn't say
Have you
a
ever
good
thought about
time,
living a
but
different life, Lupa?
yeah, that's what I would be thinking.
No need. I'm content with what I have.
That's not water, but...
For everything gained, something is lost. But through it all, I met you. That's enough.
Sad still, huh?
Life is an arena. Victory and defeat are a part of that.
Yeah.
No one wins forever. The more victories, the higher the expectation, and the heavier the weight of defeat.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. You find success and you find failures.
Do you fear that one day you might face defeat?
I mean, I feel like Rover's actually gone through it before. Not in a traditional defeat way, but the fact of the matter is that we probably failed some way before. That's why we
seem to live to
want
meet
to do
others'
this.
expectations. This is what you're used to, I'd say.
Well, I mean, even if it's what we're used to, that doesn't mean it's okay for everyone. That's why we need people.
Even if one day you meet defeat, remember this. Those you've helped will never let you face it alone.
That's a sign of a true friend.
I may not have your strength, but should you call, I will meet you on the battlefield, no matter the distance.
That's a good picture. I like that. Yeah, I do not feel bad about trusting, let's call it Lupa, in that. I mean, I know she's trustworthy, but I'm just saying that, again, this just reaffirms my choice.
I swear it, by the eternal sun, my fellow warrior.
Till death do us part, as they say, huh? Okay, that just plays more into the Gathering Wives thing, and I'm just like, uh-oh. That was good, though. But yeah. That was good for today. I'm gonna log out in here for now. I'm gonna go switch back to the chatting screen, I guess. I don't really have an end screen that I realize. But like, yeah, I mean, that was a good story. I enjoyed it. It answered a fair amount of questions, but again, it keeps us on the mysteries because more than likely we're still gonna have to do more things in Septimont, and more than likely leading to maybe another part of not Verguna, Renacita.
This is a testament to my connection.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and stop the game, like switch to the chatting screen just so that it's easier. But yeah, this is an easier way to end it. I'm gonna just Alt F4 the game, and yeah, right now, like I think it's fine that like we're, keeping the story pretty low, that we're on the low end of everything at least. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a good time. I hope anyone who ends up watching this, especially if you got to this part, because real quick, just see how long I've been doing this. Apparently I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. I almost said half, but then I'm not British, first of all, but it's been slipping into my my phrasing a lot now, so I think I'm just screwed. But the fact of the matter is that, again, if you made it this far, and to me in the future, if you ever, you know, want to rewatch this, if ever, hey, I mean, I hope everything's going fine, and I hope you guys are doing fine too. I'm stretching, so... Jeez. That means I've been singing for pretty long. But yeah, that was a good time. If anyone's listening to this, or anyone's looking at this for whatever reason, well, yeah, thanks for doing that. I don't intend to make this anything too big. In fact, honestly, I really don't want to be a big person in any sort of sense of the word. Just because, again, like, there's a lot of, like, you know, Lupa just, you know, said there's a lot of expectations that are put on you because of that. That's like an easy way to describe it for me personally. But it's also just the fact matter is that I don't want to make this like a career path, and it's mostly because of the stress and other things that come with it, you know? Because there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes on these, and that's why I'm very much someone who would not want to do it, not only because I personally am not... I don't believe myself to be the type of person who can really do this, really. It's not that I can't do it, but for how long is what the question for me would be. Because I do enjoy, you know, the whole aspect of just streaming, talking about it, but... like, it can be pretty rough, I imagine. That's why, again, if I do continue to do this, especially if I have the time in the future, we'll see what's going on. At the moment, I do have some more free time, but then that doesn't mean that, like, you know, I'll always be doing it. I don't think I'll have a consistent thing just yet until I have something set in stone for now, but if anything, if you made it here, thanks for watching. I hope you're taking care of yourself. You know, like the usual streamer shebang of taking care of yourself, but genuinely, please, do take care of yourself. The world's rough as it is already, and we're not perfect, but that's fine, as long as you're working towards improving yourself in the future. I know I'm working towards that too. And hopefully we all, you know, are doing well sometime in the future. I mean, we're already halfway through the year. Still wild that's halfway through the year, but... again, like, time just passes, so we gotta go keep moving forward no matter what. But anyways, y'all take care. I'm just gonna end it here. I don't know how I want to do the end screen, but I'll just, you know, stop the streaming on OBS and I'll cut it on YouTube right after. Alright, you guys have a good one, and to me in the future, I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for the difference. Thank you. Thank you for watching, thank you for passing by. I was surprised to even see that I was getting viewers, not gonna lie. But, hey, let's call it, that's better than nothing, I'd say. So yeah, you guys take care, you guys do what you need to, and I will see you around. I'll probably do this occasionally, but we'll see how well that goes, you know? Alright, adios.